Welcome back to the Texas music scene. Freddie King is a member of the 2012 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class. Now, in my humble opinion, he's long overdue. Chances are your favorite guitar player dug our Texas legend, the Texas Cannonball, Freddie King.
I will tell you when, well, I'm total. I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel like this when my baby can be found.
Well, it's very exciting that after 35 years that Freddie King is being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's been something that several people have been working on for several years in the background and trying to get this done. What Freddie did was he made the transition from the traditional blues of the 60s and 50s and 40s to the electric rock and roll blues with the guitar playing front man that's kind of became the rock and roll standard. Never worked off a set list. Everything was determined by the crowd reaction and how the show was going. It was all just from the heart, and he pulled it off every single night.
Freddie King was just, he came into a room and would it was the Texas Cannonball. He would just, on stage, he would just this energy, you could just see it.
Call it your love, 'cause you're a big leg woman with a sharp, sharp in its good.
I feel very hard to have played cards with Freddie King. He used to play up here at Mother Blues. He used to go upstairs and have these card games. And Freddie played this game called Lucy Deucey. And it was something like 7-card stud, and whenever a deuce would come up, the next card would be wild. And I never really could understand it, or nobody understood it, but we just knew every time he called Lucy Deucey, Freddie would win.
Listening to blues guys, Freddie King was one of my favorite guitar players ever. And that song Going Down was just a huge influence on me. I listened to it a million times, and it sucked me deeper and deeper into Texas blues. Freddie King was one of the first real Texas blues guys that I really fell in love with.
Going down, I'm going down, 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 down. Yeah, Freddie King's the man. Yeah, I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down.
But it was such a treat to have been able to have seen him perform and hang with him a little bit. He was had been an incredible, powerful performer. He was always very gracious and sweet, nice.
He was all Texas. He was larger than life. He was pretty intimidating on stage to any guitar player. Everybody would kind of take a back seat and back up a little bit, even Eric Clapton. When we were touring with him, he would, whenever Freddie would come up on encores or whatever, he would kind of back up a little bit and give the stage to Freddie. It's just a lot of respect.
Kevin Welch, along with his son Dustin and an all-star band, performed The Great Emancipation. Coming up next, stay with us.